Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the interruption. It took me a little bit longer. I set up the live stream now again with my other computer. It's my old computer, so I really hope that this is also working properly. Let me know. I just noticed I didn't open my chat. Okay, so I have to. All right, I'll check this later. At this point, I hope it's working fine. And I have a game here against Gamesmotion, and we can start this game. Gamesmotion has helped me a lot lately with my YouTube channel. Technical problems I had with the mic I'm using right now, there were some issues, and he has helped me out a lot. I'm glad I have a chance now to play against him, and we'll see how that goes. He actually writes, just when his potatoes are starting to cook, I accepted his challenge. That's a little bit unfortunate. In Germany at this point it's evening, it's 7:30 p.m. Well, where I am right now in the US, it's just 1:30 p.m. so it's just lunchtime. Okay. I'm just typing him right now that he should check afterwards if the stream is running okay, because right now I don't have an option to do that, because if I think if I go into my Twitch, on my Twitch channel now, there will be a loop, an endless loop of me watching myself talking, and then it's a disaster. So I cannot do that right now. So I'll just ask him what he says. He played f6. It is not the main move, and it's just weakening all these light squares here for the bishop. So this is something you usually don't want to do, because it's just also your king. It's just weakening your king. That's the main thing. And you can see he cannot even castle kingside anymore, because the bishop is just not allowing that. Okay. So I played c3, now following with d4, enjoying a beautiful center. At least he's very solid here. Pawns protecting e5. Oh, now he takes on d4. I'm glad to see that, because now it's easier for me to break through at some point, maybe playing e5. In fact, bishop b4, and now I can bring my queen to b3, attack the knight on g8, and also possibly invade on the light squares. And he's having some difficulties here. Of course, knight g7 could be possible, and bishop f7. Knight takes d4. Okay, I can take this knight, and now bishop and knight on g8 are hanging. At least this is an advantage now. I had the problem before that it was not running smoothly with the moves I was making. Now it is running smoothly, so that's an advantage. I hope everything else is working fine. As you can imagine, it's a huge technical challenge to put all that up and to have this live stream working properly. So please bear with me here that there are sometimes technical issues. Alright, that was a checkmate. Here I put my bishop on g8, threatening to go on with queen f7, and he allowed me to do that. I think his problems started early, already in the third move, f6. It's not a move you want to play at this point. Bishop c5 and knight f6 are two main moves. So, and then there were, as you can see in the game, there were problems on the long diagonal. Okay, let's go to next game. Holbox from Great Britain or United Kingdom, which is the same thing. Okay, you know what? I'll play d4. I haven't played d4 yet in this live stream, so I want to play something new. I just saw I accepted a 5-minute game. That's okay. We can play one long game in a while. It's a little bit more relaxed and gives me an opportunity to drink something. That's all cool. Okay, there he is. Now I'll play I call it the Jabava variation, because Jabava has played it quite a lot, but I learned recently this is also called the Berezov variation apparently. I don't know who that guy is, but this is pretty much the setup here. Bishop f4, e3, and now just bring out the pieces. Maybe sometimes play aggressively with g4 even, but I think at this point just play bishop d3. And you know what, I'm feeling a little bit aggressive, playing queen f3, following with g4, g5, he plays c5. This allows me to play knight b5, and the question is that a good move? And I think so. Knight b5 to threat knight c7 looks very unpleasant for him. And this is, well, one trick in this kind of lines, bishop f4, knight c3, that black always has to be cautious to play c5, because then, as you can see, the knight appears on b5 and their ideas with knight c7. Game's not over yet. He might play c4, he might win the bishop on d3, but knight c7 is really a difficult threat to cope with, so I don't really see a good way for him to deal with that. He could play e5, but it doesn't really help. Play d takes e5. He's in trouble. He's in trouble at this point. Now you can see he spends a good amount of time as well. So what can he do? c4, knight c7, king d8, knight takes a8. The problem is then I'm threatening even to play bishop c7 and winning the queen. And knight c7, king e7. I cannot really believe that. I mean, that looks outrageous. He takes on d4. Does that change anything? I could play knight c7 now, or I could just take back. These are two options I have. I'll just give the check now, why not? He has to go to e7. No, he goes to d8, but now he can play knight takes a8 with the threat. Bishop, e5, I should have just taken back. e5, I missed that move, and this is, well, it's still, this position is still very good for me, but now he gets some counterplay here. D takes c3 and stuff like that. So I don't want to allow that, so I take on d4 and give up my beautiful bishop, which I didn't intend to do. But I think I didn't have another choice at this point, because d takes c3, he would get a huge amount of counterplay. Now bishop a3 might be a move. Bishop a3. Maybe I have b4. Or knight e2, bishop takes b2. Because the idea is b takes a3, queen takes c3, and take on a1. It even continues then, but this, just my intuition says I shouldn't do that, because he also brings the other rook into the play, and this looks like no good for me. So bishop a3 I can probably handle with b4. Okay, he goes for bishop e7. I didn't fear that move. Actually, I could still go for b4, and this looks great, because he cannot protect the c7 square anymore. And if he can't, I'm entering here with check and taking on c8 with check and winning another piece. And now I'm just up a whole rook again, and that's just too much material. I think it's time to develop my remaining pieces. By the way, he cannot castle because he has moved his king already, so that's no problem. And now I'll just play king e7 castle. Okay, just play castle, bring the rook to e1, and we'll go from there. I'm looking at some beautiful mating lines like rook e1, king d6, queen c5 check. but it's not quite working. No, it's not quite working. Would be nice, but it's not working. Well, my queen is not trapped, by the way. It can always go to b7, so that's okay. And this is just over. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm a rook up, I'm in the attack. There's no hope for black whatsoever. Knight e4 is the move he's playing. I'll just play rook e1, stick with my plan. f5. This is how he wants to prevent me from entering. Okay, I'll take on b7, maybe take on d5 next. And I will somehow open up the files to this king, I can assure you that much. Knight e5 is another threat I have, quite a deadly threat indeed, because this knight on d7 is pinned and he has no sensible way to defend it. Knight ef6 is, I mean, that's just not going to help. And that's it. That's it. Okay, and he resigned. Really, his mistake was to play c5. If he doesn't play c5, say maybe he can prepare it first with a6, but it takes a lot of time. And already I would criticize these moves c6 and knight bd7 because it doesn't quite fit together. You can see he's now having difficulties. The knight's in the way, he cannot play bishop d6. And I have ideas with g4, g5. And this is what I like about this opening. It's offbeat and surprise the opponent, and you have to start thinking for yourself very early on. Okay, let's accept another strong opponent here, Martingal, also premium member here on Chess24, and I'm playing with the black pieces. My goal, by the way, before I started the stream was to keep, what was my goal? To stay above 2600, because I was in fact at my highest rating ever with 2642. So, but I knew I would lose here some points because it's just inevitable if you commentate and play at the same time. It is a disadvantage, there's no doubt about that. Queen e2, he plays very topical. Queen e2 is a move I also play myself. Very sharp stuff here indeed, and we'll have a very sharp night of here, I can assure you that much. Okay, bishop b7, and now I think there's this pawn sacrifice here with g5. Very interesting idea. And now e6. And why did I sacrifice this pawn? Well, it gives me the square on e5. This is the main advantage. There are also some ideas with rook c8. And he plays the best moves here. He knows what's going on. Rook h3, very good maneuver to protect the knight on c3, but I think this is how I'm supposed to play here. Still sacrifice and play knight takes e4. Looks interesting at least. Okay, and now I'll get another pawn here because I'm threatening to take on c3 with check. Bishop takes e7, knight takes c3 with check. And otherwise I'll be able to take on g5. He might play rook e3 actually. This could be a problem. Maybe I mixed up something, because then it looks like he might have, if I take with the knight on g5, take bishop take, he might have knight takes e6. So I'm a little bit afraid. He plays rook back. I'm surprised he didn't go for rook e3. Okay, I think actually that this is a line I'm proposing in my repertoire on Chess24. I've recorded German Night series, and this might be in fact in this repertoire still. Okay, bishop g2. I could take and go into the endgame, but I'm not sure about the endgame. Very sharp stuff. Very sharp indeed. Knight c5 is another move I have. You know what, I'll try. I'll see what happens here. I want to see this endgame. Doesn't look too bad for me. I have my center pawns, so I'm just curious. I want to play this endgame and see what happens. Maybe I'm just clearly worse, but maybe not. It's interesting, so I like to play interesting positions. Okay, I push with e5. Yes, he's going there. And now I bring my king, and these pawns, they will, sooner or later they'll roll. So I have some ideas here. Okay, I can't allow him to push too much. And now f5, he plays rook g5 maybe. Huh. Ha. Yeah, that's a little problem. It's a little problem. Okay, I play f6, but this I don't like it too much anymore here. Rook g7 makes sense. He might be going for these pawns now. On the okay, I play f5. Okay. No, you can't play h5, king f6. That's also a matter of speed now, obviously, but I think now I'm doing fine again. Yeah, I like it. Let's see where this is going. Check. And bishop back. Now f3, bishop c4 is coming. He still has this move. Unfortunately. Strong move, my goodness. Okay, I gotta... no, I don't like that. Now he's running. He's running. Oh man, I can't stop this pawn. Damn it. Yeah, I thought my position was okay again, but then he found a really good move, and that was it for me. I mean, yeah, played well. I can't say anything. Alright, okay. Good game by Martingal. Really interesting opening. I have to look into this again. Maybe I shouldn't go into the endgame, I'm not quite sure. But what was surprising to me, that just when I thought I got him, I didn't have him. Like here, I really thought I had him. Maybe bishop f3 instead. Maybe bishop f3. But how do I make progress? But maybe how does he make progress? That's the other question. But here now he's threatening king f3 and there's nothing I can do. So okay, I could play something bishop. I mean, what I did was not a good idea anyway. But in the end he always has this passed pawn. This is the main problem I have here. So yeah, even this, I don't know. This looks like it's pretty good for him. Okay, let's go to the next game. A lot of people still waiting. Let's play against Paule. And I think after this game I'll take another short break just to open up the chat window to see what's going on there, just to make sure that the live stream is going fine as well now with the new computer, or in other words the old computer. And with another Jobava variation. I didn't even think about it, I just felt like playing this one more time because it's fun. Bishop e7, that's pretty non-ambitious, I should say. Okay, knight f3. And d takes c5. And now I'll play with e4. Obviously I have to play in the center at some point, so e4 here. And this also, I think it's something. It's something for white. Slightly, tiny bit better. It's kind of a, if he takes now, it's kind of a Rubinstein structure. He doesn't take, he plays h6. Okay. I guess I take then, why not? Takes back with the pawn, alright, I'm glad to see that. It means I can play against his isolated pawn on d5. I play h3 to not allow him to play bishop g4. Now queen d2. Bishop b4, ah, I see. This might be a good move. Okay, I play rook e1. Oh, did I just blunder d4? I might have just blundered d4. Oh, I think I did. Knight takes e8, yeah. This looks like I'm just losing a piece. So let's see how I can make the most out of it. Okay, I play rook e1. I'm not just going to resign. Of course, in a classical game, I would just resign with a piece down, but not in a blitz game. It would be a little bit too early for that. Bishop goes back to f8. All right. Play knight d4. I've won countless games where it was down material, and then because it's blitz, anything can happen, you know. So why not try? Why not try at least? Okay. It's also about moving fast. I mean, he still has a lot of time, so my chances are not too great. But well, let's give it a shot. Knight f6. I bring my queen to f3. Play knight b5. I play knight b5. Yeah, knight b5. I like knight b5. Knight d5, I have queen e4. And maybe I can do something here. Maybe not. I'm just trying to make it as difficult as possible for him. Oh, he just plays a6. Okay. He can do that. Knight c7, he argues I'm simply rook c8 and there's nothing going on there. Yeah, he might have a pawn there, so it just looked good, but it wasn't really good, so I just retreat to d4. Okay, he plays sensible moves. I'll try to do the same, queen f3. Just play on and hope maybe eventually his time will run out. That's my main hope at this point, in fact. Bishop c6. Yeah, that's a good move. Queen g3 would run into knight h5. So I think I'll just go back to e2. Knight d5 can play bishop d2 back, or queen e4 in fact. Queen e4 might be even better. Oh, this pawn, oops. This pawn was hanging, unfortunately. Now queen h4. Or queen d5, even stronger. Even stronger, attacking here. Have to protect. But now rook e8 is coming maybe. I still have c4 possibly. Yeah. Okay, we'll just play on. And then fight as long as I can. He offers a draw. No, I don't want a draw. He either wins this or he doesn't. Draw is not a logical result in this position. I still can play rook d2. He plays g6. Okay. Go all the way back to b1. Rook e8. What's that? Oh, my bad. Oops. No. What am I doing? Man, that was unfortunate. Okay, now I gotta play real quick. Yeah, what should I say? I know it's not the greatest thing to watch, but I don't want to lose here, so I'll try on until the very end. Until the very end, I'll try on. Let's see how he wants to break through. Okay, well, this is not, I mean, fairly confident that he will not win this in time. Oh, I blundered this pawn, but it's okay. Yeah, actually, I mean, is this even winning? Maybe it is, but maybe not. So, okay, check, check. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a draw. I'm like wondering if he gains time because he doesn't lose any time. Okay, I think I'll make a draw here because there's really no point in playing on time anymore. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking a break. Taking a quick, another quick break, guys, just to check if everything's running smoothly. The last game was also not too great, so I don't know, just something didn't feel right. Okay, so see you guys in just a moment.